Good day, Perceptive Reader. This is James. Today is Wednesday, and what we're going to talk about is how helpful it is for you to apply all the good methods of letter writing, and why I have to continue to emphasize what it can do, how it can actually move someone to even correct a matter that may have been just a grave travesty. Okay, it's going to be even beyond what maybe your normal examples that you've heard over the years, and maybe if you have some college heard through there, because most likely what I'm about to tell you, it may only be uh, a very small percentage of people in the world that even know about this. And one of the reasons why it may not even be talked about as much, because the reality of the matter is, it truly goes to show that no matter how much we know, uh, how even deeply spiritual we may be, we can still make some very, very bad decisions. And it can even go back and forth. Uh, I don't really want to use the term like the wave of the sea, like the Bible mentions, but it still goes to show the reason why I mentioned that scripture, how peer pressure can even affect the best of persons, no matter how smart, how much love, you see, um, how much um, wisdom, yeah, even how much wisdom a person may have. And again, how a simple letter, though, from anybody can still help resolve something that was bad. You see, according to God, He does have an arrangement. You see, He has His home, which some people would call the church, which some people call His organization. Yeah, that's still, that's still His home. Isn't that interesting? It's still His home. And His sanctuary, call it home as well if you want to. And then He still allows the superior authorities to do what they do. And there are statements made in His word, inspired, of course, by Him, that when it even comes to kings, that He still, when He wants to, I'm just saying when He wants to, because it doesn't get in specific of whether He's doing it 24 hours a day or not. And yet you can still see other scriptures where, again, God even allowed kings to have their free will, so they can even go against Him sometimes. You see what I'm saying? But all the same, the scripture still declares that God has so much power that He can still move the heart of a king, just like a river or anything else. In other words, He can move even that king to do something that he wouldn't otherwise do. You see, and of course, it would be in a positive way, and of course, even for the benefit of His own people, who are residing, playing around His home and His courtyards and things of that nature. But what I want to tell you is this: since we're talking about kings, there was a very powerful man, and he was in this type of position where he could make some very good decisions in all aspects of life, even when it came to spiritual matters. And he would do things at times where Some persons even felt like maybe he was a little bit too strong-willed or strong-headed in certain ways, even though he could, he did talk softly. But even if he was, you know, again, uh, strong-willed for in his mind and heart for what was right, he would really emphasize or promote or do something, uh, even against what others may not be feeling or wanting. And the thing about it is, his decisions, were still coming from the right place. But it depends on who knew him or what have you. Well, anyway, uh, there was this one man, and he did not have all the status and even education uh, that a whole bunch of these group of men had. And yet, this one, like I said, I'm just saying, strong-willed king. I'm just going to describe him as a king. Uh, he liked him. He liked that man, and he liked him so much. He loved him so much. He went on ahead and actually promoted and pushed him, so to speak. He didn't push the man because the man was just a humble man, but he promoted him to a position of strength and power. And the main reason he did it was because already his actions and his love and even his character did not possess the same status and the silver spoon and everything else like these other men had. But his character, as some people would describe, was impeccable. His love was impeccable. So, anyway, a lot of the people who saw the results and experienced the results gained great benefit from that man that, like I said, that was promoted. And really it was fine. Everything was just fine. Well, what happened is the man who really was helping to promote or push ahead with this, another man that that was certainly with it as well, was catching flack, feedback from other persons. See, all on that high status, and they were just saying things like, this person had no business being here. This person had no business being there. And for the longest time, the man who went along with it, or went along with the promotion, was part of the promotion of this man that people felt like basically was not qualified. That's the word I'm just go ahead and use. What happened is, at first he was encouraging the man, just keep on doing, you see, the best that you can on what these charges were against this man. And that's what the man did. And that was all the encouragement, accommodation that he needed. And the man just kept, ignoring the naysayers that just came from the high status, but not from the lower persons, if you will, persons who experience great benefits from his help. So what happened is, some of the charges, which I would just call the slander against this person, and they couldn't say nothing about the person's character, but it basically had boiled down to, it really did, was the status, the education that the person had. That's what it boiled straight up down to. Kid you not. No matter all that other good that the man was able to do, he didn't have the status and he didn't have the education of these other ones. And a lot of persons couldn't stand it. So, what happened is these persons, and some of them really, it shouldn't even had nothing to do with it because it wasn't their company in the first place. It shouldn't even had a bit to do with it. But see, this is what I mean when I tell you how people just get into other person's business that ain't got no business getting into other person's business. And they do it because sometimes they got some weight on their belt. But I tell you again, that's what you call arrogance. That's how arrogance behave. Well, the arrogance got to the best of them. Well, what ended up happening, and believe me, it was a lot more that was going on because this went on for more than just a few days or weeks. It went on for, a little while. And so anyway, what happened is they finally even got to the man who, guess what, was happy for the promotion in the first place. Had no problem with it. But because of the pressure from all these other ones, then he changed his mind. And when he changed his mind, he walked straight up to this person without any fanfare. Because in other words, you didn't even have to have the act of God get into this thing because it could have got pretty serious. But anyway, he had talked to the man about the situation, and when he just straight up told him that, you don't deserve this promotion, that was all that fine man needed to hear with his impeccable character and spirit. And guess what? Even some people would say humility. And he had just said, okay. And then guess what? He gave up the promotion. He gave up the promotion out of all the good, all based on really because of the arrogance and really uppity view of certain persons. And let me tell you, they really felt they had their facts together too. Now, what ended up happening is this. The man gave up his promotion. So then there was another, and I know I'm using different different statements interchangeably. I know that I'm doing it on purpose. So then there was another king that heard about what had happened. Now, how you think the king heard about what had happened? People were writing, people were talking, and it was really just downright discouraging because then it really went on to show, see, and this is what a lot of persons, what I'm going to say from the ghetto would appreciate, that you mean no matter what I do, because of my background, I can't elevate myself out of this situation. And then you just still have certain persons that still, when it comes to, I would say, that Harvard type of learning and things of nature, just not right now would they be able to learn all these complicated matters within, a few days, a few weeks. It would even take years for some persons. And so the whole point is this. It doesn't make persons deficient just because they don't have the education level of even a Harvard graduate. It doesn't at all, But what happened all the same, another king had heard about this. And when this king heard about it, the king ended up, see, I'm not giving you all the intricate details, but the king ended up going back and even was talking to the man that had given the promotion in the first place, to the man that now he said wasn't qualified. And I want to assure you, the man that gave the promotion in the first place, but then through the peer pressure changed his mind. This king actually became frustrated with the man, and even felt like maybe he should have stood up more for him. For listening to all these other ones who just had a problem with this person that was now in their club. You see what I'm saying, so to speak? I'm just using that as an expression. And so, see, this will go to show you how no matter how much wisdom, no matter how much spiritual knowledge you have and things of that nature, how peer pressure can even affect the best of persons. So guess what? Then the man who wanted the promotion in the first place, which got it, then by peer pressure changed his mind and then told the person that he didn't deserve the promotion sometime later. Guess what? He was in agreement again. Basically, he wasn't around, to really make any more, decisions on the matter. But, the whole point is persons know that when this situation was resolved, guess what? The man was more than happy that the man got his promotion back, even though, then he didn't have nothing to do with it, really. So what am I sharing with you today? There are a lot more details to what had happened in this situation. But the whole point of the matter is this. People do make mistakes. People even make mistakes even when in their heart they thinking they're doing the right thing. And sometimes it's hard to tell when there's really a letter of the law matter and an opinionated opinion, that's what I'm going to say, an opinionated opinion that shouldn't be listened to at all, because it can cause the greatest amount of hurt. And in these days that we live in, where so many things have gotten so out of whack, can even cause and allow travesties that could be avoided if people would just speak up and write up. Take care, Perceptive Reader.